Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Julpy and Ghosty.
And what?
What?
And who? Who else? Is that it?
That's all we're introducing today.
That's all we're introducing
Jim Root is always there. Should I do this?
Don't worry. That's all right.
Turn it off or leave it on?
Just leave it. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sori, where
Yep.
I still hold the title of the single most frustrating human being on the internet.
Supposedly. Unless you agree with him, then you'll be very happy.
Oh, there's so many things I could say. So yeah, check that out. We are multi-talented here at the Village. Now, we are listening to Polkadot Cadaver. Ugh.
What?
Polkadot,
The picture?
Polkadot Cadaver.
I don't know what that means.
A cadaver is a dead body. So.
Ew. Okay.
Gasoline, Enema, Bend, and Light.
Shout out to Gary who picked this for us to react to.
Yeah. It is unreal, the things that people come up with. Good Lord.
I know. That's
Gasoline,
really...
Enema. That's
disgusting. Wow. Okay.
So this bodes well for this band. Look, there are multiple ways to get your favorite band listened to. Old-fashioned ways to leave it in the comment section. To be honest with you, though, when I look at the comment section, I default mostly to people who make comments about the actual
interacting with that video,
the actual song. But you can make a song request there. You can also email us vinandsori@gmail.com. There's always Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. The most consistent way to do it is to join an alliance. It's $1 at the gate at Patreon. And if you really are feeling your capitalist druthers, you can cut right to the front of the line like at Disney World with a $75 partner tier, which is what the big homie did here. And this should be an interesting song. Polkadot Cadaver, Gasoline, Enema. Also, no, I'm not going to say that. All right, so Polkadot Cadaver, Gasoline, Enema, Bend and Light. Let's go.
Go. interesting sound, don't you think?
Well,
Like it was like unique-ish? What?
well, yeah. I mean, they're a very unique sound, but all these people that say keep politics out of metal, let
Oh,
metal
I
be
know.
metal.
I know. I mean, we can't help it.
Obviously, are not paying attention, sir, ma'am.
Yeah.
I had to look at the date. It was 2017 when this got released.
Oh, really?
Which means, obviously, we know what he's talking about when he talks about the orange cow.
That's terrible.
Don't tell me you didn't.
I didn't know. I Well, first of all, I didn't think that it was that recent. I knew you made a reaction, and all I could think about is your Hindu stuff that you study because of how they feel about their cows. But then I see now they're talking about Trump. That's so terrible. Okay, well.
This was a brilliant song, but it also seems to me to be the reason why Trump won in 2016 and
Yep.
will surely win again.
Yeah.
It's because if it's about Trump standing before the brain-dead horde of empty-eyed inbreds, which is sort of the stereotype for
That's so terrible.
the middle Americans who voted for Trump.
That's so terrible.
You guys are all inbreeding and da 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 da. Yeah, these are
rude.
well, look, there's a lot of angry people, but our inability to try to understand each other is is what polar. You know, and that's why I really appreciated Andrew Yang's performance, because instead of demonizing Trump, I think what a lot of people on the left do not realize is that it's one thing to demonize Trump, but that's not what's happening. They're demonizing everybody who voted for Trump. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a problem.
Yeah.
Because you cannot, on the one hand, and you know, it's one of the weird things where I'm like, I don't understand how it is that we continuously not learn lessons. So you have Hillary making the basket of deplorables comment, where she characterized Donald Trump as having nobody who would want to vote for him aside from a small basket of deplorables, and that hurt her very, very significantly. And so,
you know, it's weird because on the one hand she's saying that, and then they say he's a racist.
well, yeah, I mean that goes right. That follows pretty nicely.
There's a small hand of deplorables that would want to vote for him.
Yeah.
If he's a racist, why would the deplorables want to vote for him?
Well, a deplorable person is a bad person, a person with no morals, an evil person.
I thought that was like the people that you're gonna, what do they call that when they send them out of the country?
That's deportation.
Yeah, so can you see how I thought it was deplorable?
Oh,
for the
yeah,
people
yeah,
that
yeah.
you're deporting?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. But no,
So a
that's
small handful of terrible people.
Yeah, so she just completely,
okay, that
she
makes sense.
completely insulted all these desperate people who were seeing their jobs go overseas and all the rest of it, and characterized them as deplorables. Well, that didn't help her. Obviously, you can't on the
Why
one
would
hand.
you insult a group of people like that?
You cannot on the well. That's because she underestimated how
big the
vast the group was. But you cannot on the one hand insult these people, call them inbred idiots who have no morals and are deplorable, and at the same time say, and by the way, you should vote for me because I'm morally superior to Trump.
Right.
Like, and so that's why I appreciated Andrew Yang's approach. You know, and Tulsi to some degree, but Andrew Yang really shined in the fourth Democratic debate because he's like, look, you know, there's reasons people voted for this dude.
Oh yeah.
A lot of your jobs went away. A lot of, you know, people are scared of automation, yada yada yada. And I thought that was a very strategic way of doing it. But this idea that you can insult people into voting for you, it you know, I was listening again to the Hillary thing where, you know, the book What Happened. And the author, there's another book called Shattered. And initially they wrote the title Shattered because it was about Hillary Clinton shattering the glass ceiling and finally making it. But then it turned out to be her dreams were shattered and blah, blah, blah. And one of the more interesting quotes was, Hillary was surprised at the resentment of a lot of middle Americans considering what happened in 2008, which is the housing crisis happened, the economy collapsed, and Bush and then Obama handed out billions of dollars to these Wall Street companies and these car manufacturers and let 5 million people lose their homes.
Yeah.
And so Hillary was shocked at all the resentment and anger. And then it said many in her team were shocked too. And it's like, where the hell do you live? Like, are you on Mount Olympus if you never interacted with a human being in your life?
Right.
So, you're characterizing all these people at these Trump had a massive rally yesterday. So all these people get characterized as inbred, ignorant people who are just amoral and deplorable. Okay, say it if you want. You're guaranteeing, and it's just like, it wasn't Klobuchar, it was the other lady where she said she would go door to door and explain white privilege to all the white women who voted for Trump. And they're so stuck in their echo chamber that they do not realize how insulting that is.
Oh yeah.
And how condescending that is.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, there's, Michael Moore talked about this, where right before the elections, because Michael Moore called this and he was talking about the fuck you vote. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah? You want to say that shit about me? Oh, I'm an ignorant, inbred person, huh? Okay, I'll see you at the polls.
Yep.
And you can see how ignorant I am then.
Right.
So it's this kind of misunderstanding of
where people are actually at.
Yeah, how to convince people. But here's the thing. Now I'm going to completely contradict myself. It is not the job of the artist to try to understand people. It's the job of the artist to reflect his current seats and labels.
Yes. Yep.
So what I just said is not a criticism of this song at all. Because it's not his job to understand people. All I'm doing is I'm saying this type of attitude is absolutely reflected in our country. There are many in the left, the cloistered left, that lives up on Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
Far above and away the common problems of everyday people who feel this way.
Yeah.
And when your own government resents you, but you live in a democracy where people can vote, and they let you know that they resent you.
Yeah.
And they have no respect for you, then it's going to go bad for you. But it's not this guy's responsibility to be understanding. It's his responsibility to reflect the world as he sees it and to be true to himself.
Very good job.
In that perspective, he did a damn good job.
Yep.
He did a really, really, really good job. And one of the things that I always say is a criticism about music during the Iraq War era, the second invasion of Iraq, was you could listen to music and not know that there was a controversial war happening. If you cut out the songs that were popular during that time period, none of them were about directly addressing.
Why do you think that is?
Well, there were a lot of factors. Nu metal was still pretty popular, although it was on the downtrend, and nu metal was more about your own personal feelings and not anything on the macro level. You'd have Iron, now looking back, we've got Iron Maidens and Metallicas and bands that were addressing major issues that were happening in the world, and nu metal was more about, this is my personal feeling, I feel bad about this, and it was more internally focused. So some of it has to do with the genre, but just some of it has to do with the fact that there's a lot of artists that have lost, the artist's mandate, which is to be the voice of the people and to reflect your current society. But this guy's got it down. Like, you can take this song and say, this is how millions of people felt in America after Trump was elected. There was a lot of anger.
Oh yeah.
And on the left side about Trump, and a lot of confusion, and a lot of Trump to me kind of signaled the end of postmodern morality in America, in the sense of 10, 15 years ago, it was, hey, you can believe what you believe, I'll believe what I believe, hey, we'll agree to disagree, and hey, that's it.
Yeah.
And just don't force your beliefs on me, I won't force my beliefs on you. That's how it was about 10 to 15 years ago. But since the inception of Trump, all that jazz went out the window.
Well, I don't think that it maybe was that at one point, but I think that it was starting to go the other way, where you couldn't have your own opposing views. So, like, like it made it very difficult to have any conversations because everybody was triggered by so many different things, and like it's almost like people are not accustomed to adversity. Like if somebody says something that triggers you, I mean, have a conversation about it. You don't just flip out or shut all speech down, or you know what I mean? But like
cancel culture
and so
stuff.
I think that what happened was stuff swung so far the other way where you couldn't say anything. You couldn't have an opinion. Like if people are, if you know, and this is going to be very controversial, but if somebody is straight and they don't want to date somebody who's bi or who's trans, or you know what I mean, like they should be allowed. That's their preference. It doesn't mean that they hate any group of people.
Right.
But I think that like the groups of people that were used to being able to say whatever they want, then they got silenced for a while, and then they got persecuted for what, and then I think that there was a big swing, and then everybody was like, okay, well let's vote for Trump, because now like safe, this is my perspective on it. It seems like that where there had to be like safe spaces, no triggers, everything had to be like cushion walled, and it seems like Trump went in there and triggered a bunch of people. Like he on purpose puts out tweets to trigger people.
He set the whole thing on fire.
Right.
You know, and you know, he was but that's kind of my point. My point is that yeah, there's a lot of the politically correct stuff and all the rest of it, and you know, whatever. But what happened at the Trump nomination was, now not only were you politically incorrect, but now not only was it you hurt my feelings and you triggered me, now it was you're a bad person morally for voting for Trump.
Yeah.
And that is where that's my point in saying, like, that was the end of like this moral relativism in America.
And there was talk of making certain words like criminal, like punishing people criminally for using certain words and stuff like that. Remember, like that talk started?
Oh, well, yeah.
So, like, it's stuff like that people are like, what?
Of course.
And then when Trump comes on and he's going to be the leader and he's blowing up all that stuff and he doesn't care, like, in one sense, it's like, are you serious? You're our president and you're supposed to be dignified.
It's
you're making a joke of the political, you know, whatever.
It's absolutely mind-boggling.
But at the same time, I think it does. It reflects on the people and how people were so tired of everything that was going on. So then they were more able to accept Trump.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the moral relativism that a lot of us had, especially like New Yorkers. New Yorkers are like, hey man, you do your thing, I do my thing, da-da-da, just don't. The whole thing was, you can believe whatever you want, you can vote for whoever you want, just don't force your beliefs on me. That was the thing. And what I'm saying is, now that's gone, and they have attached a moral. They've attached a moral diagnosis of who you are as a person, based on who you voted for, and they don't give a damn why you voted for Trump. All they care about is, you voted for Trump, you're now a morally bad person. So now it's like we swung from there's no such thing as objective morality to, oh, we do have a standard of objective morality. That's interesting. And it's now based on whether or not you voted for Trump. And of course, this is ridiculous.
Yep.
You know, considering Hillary Clinton was the other option.
Right.
And even people that voted for Jill Stein were attached with moral. You know, Jimmy Dore got dragged by everybody under the, you know, everybody and their mother on the left side for, you know, endorsing Jill Stein and saying Hillary needed to earn the vote. So now people are attaching a moral framework to who you are as a person based on who you vote for. Now, as Christians, we always believed in objective morality, that there was a right and that there was a wrong.
Yep.
And I do believe that there were some morally bankrupt people who voted for Trump for morally bankrupt reasons, but I do not believe that reflects the vast majority of people who voted for Trump, because the vast majority of people who voted for Trump in Middle America voted for Obama twice.
I also think a lot of the reason why people voted for Trump was because the money aspect of it.
Well, that is the main reason. It's the economy, and it's so crazy to me because Clinton, when he first ran, that was what he kept saying. It's
you're right.
It's the economy, stupid.
That's right.
And it's interesting in that book that Bill was saying, we need to get to the Middle Americans, we need to reach out to them and touch them and da-da-da-da. And Robbie Mook, Hillary's chief campaign strategist, said no. What do you know about it, Bill? I've got my analytics. I don't know. What would Bill know about it? What would Bill know about campaigning and winning a presidential election? What would he know about it? Unbelievable. They wouldn't let him really campaign, because Hillary wanted to kind of stave out her own.
I think, yeah.
Feminist, yada yada. And, more power to them. But so this song reflects the anger of many leftists and their perception of who Trump is and who Trump voters are.
Yep.
And on that perspective, I thought it was a very, very well done song. And like I said, it's not this guy's responsibility to reach out and befriend the voters. It is the Democratic Party's responsibility. So that's why I'm saying, on the one hand, this demonstrates why Trump won and will win again. And on the other hand, it's a very good reflection of our situation in life right now. Our, the prevailing zeitgeist among the left is this is probably the biggest takedown on Trump and Trump supporters I've ever heard. But he can say that because he's an artist. He did a damn good job.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Well, what about light yourself on fire? I don't understand why he was saying that.
Well, if you look at the title of the song, it's
the
gasoline, Enema, bend and light. And then it ends with light yourself on fire. So it's a very graphic way of basically saying take your Trumpism and shove it up your blah.
I understood gasoline enema, but bend and light made me think of a prism.
Right.
So I thought of a prism after
Correct.
that. I wasn't thinking about
Correct. That's what I was thinking of. And then when it said light yourself on fire, I was like, oh. Okay.
How rude.
But again, it's not the job of the artist to be nice. It's not his job to be nice to any of you. You know what I mean? The problem is that when the politicians are saying this stuff,
yeah.
And a lot of these politicians happen to be some of the worst people on the planet ever. Good night. So I thought it was a really, really well done song. I thought it was a really, really good song. Just because I don't necessarily agree with the Democrats' approach to how they handle people, doesn't mean that I don't understand the. And the other thing is, the buffoon grows loud, chewing on vomit, spitting violent sound. I mean, we're gonna shoot a video in a couple, maybe an hour or two or three about Trump and they're working on the roof right now. So nothing can be done. About Trump and some of the stuff that he said about the Kurds and the Syrians, which is absolutely terrible. I mean, when you see Trump at these shows, it shows. I mean, these rallies, it's like a rock show. He runs around, he winks at people, he turns to the crowd, does one of these things, it's just like a rock show. It's indistinguishable. And it's true, and a lot of stuff happens. He starts going off script, and he'll tell you hey, I'm going off script. I'm better when I'm off script, right? And everybody's like, yeah. And the speech was like, what the hell? No. Because he is one stupid thing away from imploding this entire thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, he is one dumb, leaked CIA document away from saying something crazy, either on his speeches or in Twitter. So the way that Trump is characterized here is true. I'm not going to say that because, the scripture says, do not dishonor a leader of your people.
Yeah.
But it is true that there are many times when Mr. Trump, he just says whatever comes to his own mind, and he's got this air of invincibility that he can't be touched. And, unfortunately, the Democrats continue to feed that myth to him because of their stupidity with the Russiagate stuff, and their even hyper stupidity with the Ukrainegate stuff.
Yep.
Where the president of Ukraine has come out multiple occasions saying, I did not feel pressured at all about money at all in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And then
not good enough.
Leftist, not good.
They get the transcript. Not good enough.
Not good enough. Oh, it wasn't a transcript. Then somebody said, well, why is he trying to keep it secret? Hello? he's speaking to another representative of another foreign country. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to tell other foreign countries, hey, anytime you have a discussion with the president, we're going to put that out for public consumption. Like, hello, these guys are talking about going to war and all these other stuff that they want kept private. What do you mean?
Right.
Why did he? Why is it concealed?
Hello.
Anyway, here we are.
This one's a 9 for me.
This is a 9.8 for me. I thought they did a really, really good job. I thought the sound was great. They had enough mixture of, organic and synth that I really, really liked.
And they swapped the vocals out all the time. Like, they kept doing different things.
It was dark and mean, and then vocal, melodic. You did a really, really good job. I'd never heard of this band before.
Me neither.
So there you go. Chewing on vomit. Spitting bile and sound. Let nature take its course.
Why would you read that?
Yeah, but it's a good characterization of a Trump rally, though. You have to admit.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
The guy, it's unbelievable. I don't think there's anything that he could actually say in one of those rallies.
Look at that. The eyes, they tell 1,000 tales, and no one even cares.
Yeah. I don't think anybody could. Yeah. Unbelievable. Anyway.
Oblivious and celebrated for nothing. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
This guy's laughing too.
That guy outside's laughing. He thinks it's funny. We had a good laugh when Joe 330 Biden claimed that Trump was trying to take him down.
Gonna beat him like a drum?
I'll beat him like a guitar.
Like a drum.
Like a drum.
I was like, what? Anyway, that's in the Middle America live listen. So
the moral of the story is we're doomed. Been out.
Sorry, out.
Gone.
Move to Canada.
Oh, you got blackface Trudeau over there.
Oh no! Go to Russia.
That's all the political prisoners go in Russia.